All right, so really quickly, I'm going to give you a rundown of my timeline over here of what's happened since the day that I picked up my wonderful 2016 Chevrolet Cruze. There's somebody's driving behind me. So back in May of 2019, I decided I needed a car because my previous one had fallen apart and I didn't have enough money. I didn't really have a huge down payment to put down. So I saw the ads for DriveTime online. They were talking about 99% approval rating. So I go and I eat that whole shtick up. So I drove off the lot with 2016 Chevy Cruze. My salesman over there at DriveTime here in West Palm Beach, Florida was Rohan. And overall, I thought the process went well. I was like, this is good. This is a good point A to point B car. And this will last me until I can, get something else that's going to be a little more permanent. So I drive away, happy as can be. Within 2 weeks, I start to have problems with the car idling roughly. The reason I'm recording the car driving is because I don't know if you can hear that, and I guarantee the traction control and stability track error is going to come up. And as you can see, the check engine light is on. But I go and call DriveTime. No, actually, let's go back before that. Before that, the remote start wasn't working. So I had called Rohan up over at West Palm. He said to come by. And when I got there, he was like, oh, well, he's like, my mother has one also, and she can't figure it out either. Made it sound like I was not doing it right. I had already done all the research, but I went over there. I figured incorrectly that they probably had somebody on the premises that actually works on cars or does some kind of mechanic work, but I go over there and he tries it over and over and over again. Doesn't work for him either. So he tells me to call Silver Rock. Silver Rock is the name of the warranty company that I paid for. So I ended up paying for this the warranty. This is a whole separate issue, but Rohan's like, telling me about how it's great, 50,000 miles. What they don't tell you is that if it's over 50,000 miles, that they won't cover pretty much anything. So the car I bought with 60,000 miles, but I'll take the blame for that, for not asking enough questions. I was kind of, ignorant on my part. But he tells me to call up Silver Rock. Silver Rock wants $100 as a deductible. This is basically making a claim to find out why the remote start's not working. Now, as I said before, I live in South Florida. Remote start isn't too important to me, but since it's 90 freaking degrees here all the time in South Florida, having the convenience of starting the car while I'm walking out to it is pretty convenient. So I'm like, you know what, screw it, whatever. I'll deal with it, not gonna bother. So fast forward to that, 2-3 weeks that I've had this car. By the way, this is November 2016, or November 2019. The car is a 2016 model. So it's less than 5 years old. My mom had borrowed the car, brings it back to me and says that the engine's idling really roughly. It sounds like it's gonna sputter out. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Sure enough, I get into the car and we're having problems. So again, call up Silver Rock. Silver Rock says, all right, well, you can set it up. One of our authorized in-network repair centers. They're all Tire Kingdoms. Tire Kingdom and like Pep Boys, but I'm surrounded by Tire Kingdoms where I live. So there was another store called Tire Choice that I took it to because I used to work in the IT department for Tire Kingdom. I don't really want to take they're not my first choice to diagnose a serious problem with my car. So I take the Tire Choice. They say it's a MAF sensor. I'm like, all right, well, find out if that's covered. Call Silver Rock. Silver Rock says it is not covered. Not only that, the mileage on the vehicle is way past what it should be. So they want almost $400 for the MAF sensor work. I'm thinking I might as well just go get it myself and do the work myself, but since I've only had this car for a couple of weeks now, I don't feel I should pay for it. So I go back and forth with Silver Rock. I, file a complaint. They supposedly put me through to some supervisor or manager, and they agree to pay like a certain. They tell me they're going to pay for it, but then Tire Choice tells me, they're going to cover $264 or some silly amount after I pay $100 deductible. I'm like, whatever, just fix the problem. Supposedly they fixed the problem. I get the car back, still having the same problem. Not only that, there are issues now with StabiliTrak and traction control not working. So they've given it back to me with more issues. Call up Silver Rock again. They want, again, a $100 deductible, and we'll take it in, and with a $50 diagnostic fee, we'll go ahead and find out. And I'm going, communicating back and forth with Silver Rock and, Tire Choice, and they're just going back and forth telling me that Silver Rock won't cover it. Silver Rock is saying, yeah, go ahead, take it in, pay another deductible, and just choosing not to cover it. And it just keeps on going like that for a while. So eventually I call up again and they send me to, I'm like, you know what, let's try Tire Kingdom, because the car sputters sometimes. Like I said, it idles roughly, but at lights we'll be sitting here and it'll sputter, it'll just, the car will turn off. So I'm a little annoyed. I'm like, you know what, let's try Tire Kingdom. I take it over there, Tire Kingdom looks at it, gives me back a list of issues. Now granted, they're mechanics. I don't think they're the greatest mechanics, but every mechanic is going to find a whole laundry list of issues, of stuff that's cracked and worn and needs to be fixed. So again, this is over $400 now that they're handing me all these problems. I call Silver Rock again. Silver Rock, yeah, take it in, give me the whole runaround. And they say that they're not covering any of it. So I call up DriveTime. The whole time I'm communicating with DriveTime also, and all they're doing is just apologizing. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing these problems, so sorry that you're having these issues, so sorry. Just go ahead and take it into a repair shop, $100 deductible, $50 diagnostic fee, and we'll be happy to put the claim in for you. And I've gone in there to Tire Kingdom while they've had them on speakerphone with Silver Rock, and they're like, what's the part number? They give them the part number. Yeah, we don't cover that. Nothing has been covered. So the infuriation just continues. Not only that, at one point, Tire Kingdom gave it back and the car was it sounded like it was grinding while it was driving. Again, take it back. Let's call Silver Rock. Yeah, we're not covering that. Just on and on and on and on and on and on. So I've been to Tire Kingdom about 3 or 4 times now. And each time we've had to pull teeth, and it's infuriating because they won't cover anything. Silver Rock won't. And obviously Tire Kingdom's not going to do anything unless Silver Rock covers it, or I'll have to pay, tons of money. So every single time now, after they gave it back, one of the times I was getting an issue with the engine overheating. So we have the sputtering problem, the rough idle, traction control, it's making a weird noise now, and the car was overheating. So I kept getting engine warnings that the car was overheating. Again, take it back. We're going to call this whole process the runaround. The runaround is what I did. I called all 3 entities, Tire Kingdom, which is, the problem is with DriveTime and Silver Rock, because Silver Rock refuses to take the vehicle back. They said that refund out of order. I'm already past the amount of time that I could return it, so they're washing their hands of it. They use the word impossible. It's impossible to return. Let me tell you what's impossible. Me throwing a football from here in South Florida all the way up to Canada on a single throw, getting it all the way up there. Me jumping from Earth to Mars and landing on Mars and saluting the crowd after I got there. Those are impossible. Those are literally impossible. Not taking your lemon pile of crap car that you sold me. This is a massive commitment that I made, and you sold me a piece of crap. If you stand by your product, you should take it back. It's not impossible. You're just not doing it. They make it seem like if they try to process the return to take the car back, a force field is going to come up over the computer and stop it from going through. That would be impossible. This isn't impossible. You guys are just being jerks and not taking the car back, because it's not smart business on your part to take a defective car back, because then you have to sell it to someone else and possibly maybe fix it. I know you don't fix any used cars that come in there. You do a cheap, shoddy job. But moving forward, that's the long list of issues that has just bogged down this awful freaking car. So we are now in November. I've had the car since middle of May, I believe. And it's just been non-stop issues. Non-stop. Literally non-stop problems. Oh, also on top of that, it's been squealing like a pig while I'm driving it. So again, I'm taking all these issues in, and the last time I called up DriveTime, complained about it, they apologized. Fake apologies that customer service people give you. So sorry, so sorry. We'll go ahead and authorize the repairs. I'm like, that hasn't worked. I guarantee I'm going to get this car back, and they're going to still have problems. No. We'll authorize the repair. It'd be great. Took it in. They fixed the problem with it overheating. The overheating problem. So that was one issue out of a whole laundry list, and it was like pulling teeth just to get them to fix that. So now I get it back. The latest thing that's happened now is that this buzzing sound that it's been making while I'm driving. So I'm at my wit's end with this thing. I am praying that something happens to it, that I could just get, something would happen to just total it. But unfortunately, I'm a safe driver, so I mean, it's not going to be my fault that it happens. I have too much common sense. I'm not the person that goes and slips on a grape in Publix or something like that and slips and falls due to just being stupid. Unfortunately, I have common sense, so the chances of me getting some kind of something that I can sue them on is very, 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 very thin. So that's the story in a nutshell. I'm going to post, I've taken a whole bunch of videos of just some of the stuff that's been going on. I'm going to say stuff because I'm trying to keep this somewhat PC, because I don't want anybody to see this and I think that I'm the psycho. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and post the rest of them, but this will be the first video to kind of give you an overview of all the problems I've been having with this piece of garbage. Now, this is actually really weird because now that I'm driving and it's not actually showing the StabiliTrak warning, but I just took a video a couple of hours ago on my lunch break, and that actually does have the issue that pops up. So this is just the beginning, and I will see you guys next time.